What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kofi Kingston, aka 1/3 of the New Day. You're not gonna say it with me, sir? Yeah, come on, you better participate. Let's try it again. 1/3 of the New Day, and you are watching The Young and the Wrestlers. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome to The Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast, the show that takes a look at the soap opera nature of the WWE, the storylines, the characters. At its core, we just mark out. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan, alongside...
Fuck!
Good start.
I didn't have anything...
Good start.
I didn't have anything thought of. All right, let's try it again, sorry.
This is our WWE TV in review, where we'll take a look at Raw and SmackDown. It comes at you usually every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, you can by heading over to the social medias, Facebook, Discord, Instagram. All those links are in the description below. Our handles are under our faces. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopcultures, where you can watch us record this show live. If you want to support the show, you can tell your friends, tell your family about this wrestling pod. If you want to support us financially, you can get patreon.com/popcultures, as well as our merchandise store, popcultures shop. We buy shirts, other assorted shit with our logos on it. Straight out in the chat, Mad Dog's here pimping. For those who don't know, we have both Jem and I are involved in a lovely Twitch wrestling promotion. And by Twitch, we mean a friend of ours, Mad Dog, plays 2K20. Our characters are in it. And I'm currently tag team champion. Jem, former 2-time women's champion. They've just done a brand split. So it's TCW's two shows now. TCW Surge and TCW Power. And we are here, and we are now representing Team Surge. We were picked up as a collective, as the three of us, you, myself, and the mullet, and
we got lucky.
We did, and to make things even better, we were third round picks or something. So I'll take that. Third round picks is better than no round picks, man. Like obviously as tag team champions, it makes sense for us to get involved early, and I'm glad you can come with us, of course, because the power of purple is going to take over very, very, very soon. Once again, we're going to run that shit.
Yeah.
Run that shit.
Anyways,
I'm
excited.
Jem, how have you been?
Oh, tired, busy, crazy, but good, man. How about you?
I'm all right. So the reason we didn't do last week is because I fucking died, which was great. So I went and got my COVID vaccine. And it kicked the living shit out of me for a couple of days. It wasn't too bad. It was just more of like there's like that brain melting headache. I didn't have the fever. I didn't have the chills. I didn't have any of the other major issues. It was just the blistering headache.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't do the show, Jim. I'm dying.
Yeah.
So
and that's why we're recording tonight, because I had the same kind of headache yesterday. However, I have not been vaccinated. Not vaccinated. I just have a tendency for migraines, and one hit me like a truck yesterday.
So as I said on For the Players, one of the real advantages that I have now is I can just go and lick things. I'm COVID free. Go to bus stations, trucks, trains, just hey, tickets please, cool, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, I'm not going to die of COVID. I'm good now. I believe that's exactly how it works.
Sure, science.
Yeah, we'll run with it. It's exactly how it works. I can tongue back.
It's like Steiner maths, Steiner science.
Exactly, Steiner science. I can lick anything, and it all works out well.
Yeah, exactly right. I would pay for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's quite nice actually. Even though everything feels exactly the same, nothing feels any different. I don't. The only big difference is I can feel the G's in me, all 5 of the G's. Like it's flowing through me now. The microchip sometimes causes bad reception, but other than that, it's pretty sweet. There are worse things that I could be facing right now. Oh, and one thing, I'm growing a fucking beard apparently for some reason. So,
Hulking out.
Yeah, I thought friend of the show Dash was like, "Hey, you should grow a beard." I'm like, "All right."
Okay. Whatever you say.
I will be I will be getting it off though, because we have episode 200 for the players. That's that PlayStation Pod in 2 weeks. So I will. So not this Saturday, the coming Saturday, we'll be recording the live 200 episode special guest.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'll probably tidy up the face because it looks pretty ratty. And for 200, I feel I should clean up a little bit and look a little bit nicer. And because this is disgusting, it is not very good.
It's not horrible.
Yeah, it's not.
I'd say points for trying.
It's not the worst beard. The problem that I have is it's here. Like it grows really well here, and the moustache. The moustache is efficient. It grows really well. Makes the lips huge. That part's nice, but also really rapey looking. So, like, if I can remove...
Yeah, but no. It gives you a really nice shadow, and it really cuts, like, your creases in and gives you a really nice defined jawline.
That part's pretty true, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it just looks like...
It has some benefits.
It does, but it also looks like I'm not here to just clean the pool, but, like, sexually molest it. Like, it's a really...
Take it easy, Ron Jeremy.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I can work with that. You know, I work with children. I can't be having gross mustaches around.
My first ever working with children's check photo, I looked like a criminal in a mugshot.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that was my photo. I was like, I wouldn't hire me to take care of my kids.
Working with children. I have a 4-year-old. I drop him at daycare and they're like, please sir, step away from the child. I'm like, he's my son. Like, that's the hurdle I'm going to have to face moving forward. Yeah. Anyway, we're not here to talk about how I look like a puppy fiddler. Instead, we're here to talk about the WWE. So we've got to talk about the Raw and the SmackDown. Now, Jem, as we do, we kind of just mesh them together and talk about whatever we want to at the time. We'll go from there. Jay in the chat, they say, nice of you to brush your hair. That's the problem. At the end of the day, my hair gets all fluffy as well. So this is my natural hair. It's this giant Jufro. So I got Jufro plus gross beard. I am an incredibly unattractive man today.
Well, I think we should probably start with the most controversial thing that has happened in recent times, and that would be the release of a few people.
Yes.
What do you reckon?
Yes, that is where we should start. So, last week, WWE did their now, they haven't done it for a while, but then the last year they did, and then this year they did again on the exact same day on the 16th of April. 10 WWE superstars were released from their contracts. Many of them quite notable. We'll go through the list as I can recall them. Obviously, Samoa Joe is a big one. But the Iconics, both Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. Callisto was one. Tucker was another. Mickey James. Who else was there? Mojo Rawley was another one.
Yep, Mojo was.
It was a toughie. Yeah. It was.
Bo
Dallas was another one as well.
Yeah, Bo Dallas was another one.
But yeah, so
there was one more.
10 people left. They all have their 90-day no compete, so we'll find out what they have planned come June. But the real irony and the real stinger is that they took place exactly a year to date from the Black Wednesday, whatever they called it.
Oh yeah.
Now I understand that WWE cleaning house post Mania isn't a new thing. They have done this in the past. However, normally in the past there wasn't a global pandemic. So that's a little bit shit. And then to add to that, as Jay says in the chat, then 4 days later they hired 2 new highly paid executives. And that's the thing. So their reasoning were budgetary, right? They're like, it's budgetary reasons.
The last one was Chelsea Green.
And Chelsea Green, yes, who debuted on SmackDown or Raw, and then got super injured, and then we didn't see her for the whole time. So they said budgetary issues and we can't afford to keep you. I'm like, motherfuckers, you just got paid like $1 bajillion from your Peacock deal. You've had the most profitable year near on record.
I looked it up today. Vince McMahon's current net worth is $2.1 billion.
Yeah. Which is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Now, granted, not all of that is cash money. A lot of that is stocks as well, and various other things that he has money invested in.
But still, it gives you an idea of...
It is a ton of coin. Because I think, like, Stephanie McMahon's paid a good hunk of change, as is Triple H. Now, I do agree that they should be compensated for the high role that they have. You know, he is the chairman of the entire company, a massive worldwide multi-million-dollar company. You know, with that comes... Some luxuries, because I certainly don't want the stress of having to run that entire company. Holy shit.
Well, yeah, exactly right.
But there does have to be that line, and I refuse to believe that budgetary restrictions is a reason when you have a massive flux of income and you've had nothing but income because you're not paying for house shows anymore, which apparently were costing them money at one point. There's no interstate travel. There's no international travel. This right now should be like one of the best, spaces.
Exactly right.
To be able to support them. Now, granted, like it's a weird line. If they're not, nothing's being done with them, it might be better for them to go elsewhere. Or at least be given, rather than cutting them, give them the option to leave.
Yeah, and there was probably some people in there that said, "Look, I want to go," so you can't factor that out.
Yeah. But, well, before we jump in, let's have a quick speculation on where we think they're going. Of course, Mad Dog in the chat is very sad that Peyton Royce is leaving. Of course. Let's start with Peyton Royce. Where do we think Peyton will do?
Well, it's a bit of a no-brainer, obviously, knowing that her husband is in AEW. It just feels silly that both she and Billy will go together. I think it's smart for them to do that because they know they were so well loved. They know that they can pick that crowd up at AEW easily. And I think they'd be an asset to AEW, 110%.
Yeah. Because the thing that when they said when they were exited, I was like, oh, that sucks, bumhole. But you get them with like the Dark Order on being the Elite, or, like combine that silliness. Hell yes, that's what I want to see. That would be amazing. Because I think they because I went and I watched a bunch of their like cut together, work backstage, yelling at Kayla. Just being amazing, and they are something, and that they recently missed. In the chat, Jay adds, I haven't seen anything from Bo Dallas to suggest that he was interested in staying. I believe Bo Dallas went and did he's real estate agent now, so I don't think he really kind of had too much focus on it. Tucker looks to be just chilling, smoking pot, and playing golf. As I saw a nice picture.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, sounds a blast. Apparently, Samoa Joe, the concern was around his frequency of injury. And I don't think he passed a concussion test, I think. Hence why he's not been able to take a bump. But why not give him a commentary contract? Like, seriously.
He was amazing in commentary.
He was fantastic on
better
commentary.
than what we've got now. Which
we'll get to them shortly. And then apparently Mickey is off finishing a book as well. Mickey James, she popped up at the Royal Rumble, and there's a little bit of a story there with her, and then she kind of got left to the wayside. Like, Mickey's got a history, man. And, like, I know it's history more, that you know better than I do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shitty because, like, I feel like wasn't she released another time as well? Like, it's real weird. This feels like deja vu. But it's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe if she's finishing this book, she might have wanted to step away. It's 50-50 there.
Yeah. And then of course there's like Callisto as well. So the Lucha House party's now more of a Lucha House date. With 3 down to 2, it's not so much of a party anymore, which is sad. But like they kind of separated them a little while ago, so maybe this was semi in the cards. Like, why would they separate him if they had no intention to do anything? But then again, they split Heavy Machinery and they split like Iconic with no real fucking plan. So they're not the best, best people to plan that. But anyway, look, let's take that run from Joe leaving commentary. Let's talk about this week's episodes of Raw and SmackDown. Let's kick things off with Raw. So we saw a gentleman by the name of Adnan. I can't remember his surname.
Verk.
Adnan Verk. He is now replacing Joe. So the new lineup for Raw is Adnan in the center with Byron Saxton and Corey Graves.
Yes.
So Joe's gone, as is Tom Phillips.
Yes.
Interesting. Like so Corey obviously coming across from SmackDown. Byron Saxton still hanging around. So they're still getting that like a to and fro from Byron and Corey.
Good guy, bad guy. And
that was kind of cool. It was good to hear that again because I do love Corey ripping into Byron. But
shut up, Saxton.
The issue is with Adnan. Now, granted, so he does have a history in actual like professional casting. So he's not a nobody, right, to the space. However, he's very clearly fresh to the wrestling. So numerous times he made wrong calls. He made sort of like, reference the wrong things. He called like the Viking Raiders. I think he called them the Viking Experience or something, or the Viking Express. He called them incorrectly. Yeah, he just made some blunders. Now, initially I was like, cool. Like last week, I was like, oh, it's his first week.
Didn't he call Drew McIntyre the Celtic Warrior?
He did.
Yeah.
And so last week I was willing to make some like, look, your first day on the job. It's a whole new industry. Like, as much as I sit here and joke that I think I would be a fucking fantastic ring announcer or maybe even commentator, I will probably suck asshole on my first day. I guarantee.
Oh yeah, you get nerve.
Yeah, I'll look good in a suit and I'll walk out and be like, this match is scheduled for 1-4, but actually it'll out loud be like, this match is scheduled for 1-4. I mean, like, I don't think I'm gonna. No, your first time's always nerve-wracking as hell, right?
Oh yeah.
So I understand that. Second week though, we're seeing similar flops, just because he doesn't know the shit. On SmackDown, however, with Corey heading over to Raw, Michael Cole is now joined by Pat McAfee. So Pat McAfee has a big history in himself. He's a seasoned podcaster. He had a great little run on NXT last year with Adam Cole, and a known WWE fan. So you can see that when he comes in, like,
oh yeah, man, jumping out of the chair for certain things, the genuine excitement got me so excited.
Exactly. Now, granted, you can tell that he was watching and biting what he was saying. Like, he didn't really go a certain way because he knew he was being monitored, or you could tell that he was very conscious. But like the getting up out of his seat, that reminded me of like Ronaldo, the guy that used to run do NXT, and like I love that shit. I absolutely love that energy because like them sitting there being like, like that investment, like NXT when they would get up and like get into it, like that is good stuff.
Yeah.
That is good stuff. Yeah, also, I just noticed Mud Jane with the resubscribe for her third month. Thank you, Mud Jane.
Thank you.
She's very excited. Her name, obviously, Mud Jane. She's a big fan of Mud Vane. They announced they're reuniting this week.
Yay.
Very excited. As was 15-year-old Ryan. I was very happy.
Yeah.
But, so what do you think of Pat McAfee?
I'm down for Pat McAfee. Like, you can tell he's learning, he's listening. This is a big thing that I can tell as well, is he's listening to Michael Cole. Obviously, Cole is the seasoned veteran. He's the guy you want to be, like, paired with. So you can see and you can tell that he's sitting and he's listening and he's learning and he's correcting himself. And you can just tell that he genuinely wants to be there.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that he is a fan, like, it just gives it that more... It really gives you that excitement too, because you're feeling what he's feeling.
Yeah,
as a fan. Yeah,
and in his podcast, he went and he discussed about how, how like he's essentially self-critiqued himself on his pod, and I'm like, that's fantastic because that means he gives a shit, as you said. Like, if he's willing to be like, look, I made some mistakes here, and here. I could do this better. He's like, I got in trouble for standing up. I probably shouldn't do that. You know, and then because there was that when they cut back to Michael Cole and me, he's sitting down, I'm standing up, and I looked really uncomfortable because I didn't know whether to sit or stand. You know, and like, but the fact that he's willing to look in on that, and I also found out in the same conversation that he didn't get told shit. He didn't get told what the outcomes were going to be. Nothing.
Oh no.
No, but in a good, like, he was okay with it because then there was raw excitement.
No, of course.
Like raw energy, you know what I mean? Like, compared to like knowing where it's going, he was like, let's just react.
That's good. Great. Yeah.
Also, Ibiza, brilliant little pun in the chat there. It does make me happy. I am feeling happy. But look, I'm obviously more excited for Pat McAfee. I think he has a great potential in it. And obviously, I think him being a massive fan is a big part of it. Yeah,
Adnan's very lackluster in that respect. He's like emotionless. He's like a robot. Like, I can't handle it. It's real slow. It's real drony. It's like, oh, just get on with it. I can't handle his voice.
Yeah, it's just... He does have, like, it's kind of like, there's that, I still got no commands, my Jane. I'm lazy as shit. I've been doing this for like 4 years. I don't have commands. It's the, but, like, it's just, he has that. It's kind of like there's like that older gentleman at AEW, like, it comes in and he sounds like he's the play-by-play guy from basketball. And it's, Tony
Schreiber?
Yeah, and he walks up and he's like, you know, if this person does this and that does that and this and that and this, and they go like, what? You know, it's like, you know, every second Saturday there'll be a bunch of, sack races until a determinate winner. It's all this weird, crazy shit. And like, it has that same energy because he's an actual sportscaster. But okay,
yeah.
We'll wait and see. I'm pretty sure, you know, it's better.
There's an adjustment period.
It's not Jerry the fucking racist Lawler. All right, so we're all good.
Agree.
Where do you want to start, Jem?
Very good.
Raw, SmackDown. Where are we starting today?
Let's start with let's start with Raw because it doubles back on last week, which we didn't watch we haven't discussed yet.
Sounds good.
So let's start there with the Universal Championship.
That's Smackers.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Universal Smackers, bro. It's Roman. Are your notes backwards?
Other one, yes.
Oh, what's the other one? Your notes are backwards.
WWE Championship. Sorry, I wrote that wrong. It's the WWE Championship.
Them notes.
I'm so tired.
WWE Champion. You can tell.
Yeah, so obviously there was a triple threat match last week because Drew McIntyre wanted his rematch.
At WrestleMania Backlash.
I know, not just any old Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash. But then Braun Strowman's like, no, but you don't just get a second chance. That sucks. And then that's what he's like lately.
Nice throwback to his bit like he did like 3 months ago. Hold on.
I know. Who else was it? It was Braun Strowman.
Randy.
That's it, Randy. They were like,
Randy Orton was there.
Yep, so triple threat match, Drew McIntyre wins it. After the fact, MVP comes out, and so do Mace and T-Bar, formerly of Retribution, and they do what's called the Twin Tower.
That seems really, really inappropriate, but
Yeah, so obviously Drew McIntyre's chucking his fit this week. Like, he's like, oh, you know, MVP, this is all on you. You say it's not, but it is, and I know it is, and you say it's not, but... And Drew,
I know, you know that I know that you know that I know.
Yeah,
that
exactly
you know
it.
That I know that you made them do it.
And then MVP's like, no.
And then Drew was like, yeah, huh?
And then he was like, no.
Times 1,000, you know, and he's like, ooh, Infinity plus
Go
one.
Take backsies. Yeah. But, and then they pop out of nowhere and it happens again. So Drew McIntyre gets on his high horse and demands that Adam Pearce gives him a match against Mace and T-Bar. And Adam Pearce is adamant, didn't tish, that he's adamant that Drew McIntyre has to have a partner, a tag team partner. He's like, no, I'll do this by myself, make it happen. So Adam Pearce does, and it ends up being Drew McIntyre versus Mason T-Bar in the main event.
Yeah.
With this, obviously, batch goes on. Mason T-Bar get disqualified for attacking for too long. They 10 count or whatever. And then Braun Strowman comes barreling down out of nowhere, and suddenly there's a tag team match.
I don't need a partner. Hey, conveniently, a partner.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. And yeah, that ended up leading to a match which Drew and Braun ripped off the masks of Mason.
They
and
did.
T-Bar.
They lucha'd them. They demasked them.
I know.
No mascara.
I know.
Yep.
Like fully ripped it off their masks.
Which is good. Like who would have fucking thought it was Shane Thorne the whole time?
I know. It's not like we've been saying it for months on end, but anyway.
No idea.
But anyway.
No Eagle Piggle, Plinky Plonk, no more.
Yeah, and then they went and took Eagle Piggle's blanket and whipped the shit out of him with it, causing a disqualification to them. So by technicality, they lost the match. It was Drew McIntyre's fault because he was doing the whipping on the Mace guy. But yeah, like what? Where's this going? What do you?
Look, apparently, Mia Yim is going to show up on Smackers. As is fucking Slappy Jackie, whatever his name was.
Oh, Slapjack, yeah.
Yeah, so he's gone over there.
Oh, good. Does that mean that, oh no, he's on Raw now, never mind.
So, so they're probably going to get demasked as well this coming Saturday.
Yeah.
So look, I think
that means we don't get to see Xavier Woodward versus what's her face? I know!
Boo! Boo to WWE! Boo!
My heart! I'm sorry to break the news to you.
I didn't even think about that. But yeah, so look, I think this is them final,
reckoning.
just stripping Retribution. That's what it comes down to. I think.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they had to make it the main event. I guess but it's them essentially. Look, Retribution's no more. Everyone, pay attention. It's not a thing. And I think that's pretty much what their plan is. It's just kind of that's fine. Jay is off for dinner. They will catch the rest on the Spotify's. Thank you, brother.
Bye.
So I think that's kind of the big reason. The big reason is just to get that split, and that's fine. But look, Braun getting in, okay. Drew getting in, all right, cool. Mm-hmm. It's okay. Yeah, it's one of those things. Knowing that Drew's getting his thing at WrestleMania Backlash. And then maybe he'll get involved in, WrestleMania Money in the Bank or WrestleMania, Super Showdown.
Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, WrestleMania Hell in a Cell. There's a lot of things that he can do.
WrestleMania Royal Rumble.
Yeah, the WrestleMania Royal Rumble, and then as someone said before, the WrestleMania
the WrestleMania SummerSlam.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of places, but okay, sure. It's that weird line of when we're seeing this repeat and
the WrestleMania Fastlane.
The fast lane to WrestleMania. They'll strip that one a little bit just to.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Gotta keep you on your toes.
That's right. Just to switch things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, knowing that we're getting just the same, a literal rematch. It's why I never really gave a shit about Backlash, because it's literally just rematches from WrestleMania. I'm like, I saw that at WrestleMania, and I liked, and they've
just confirmed it by changing the title.
Yeah, and okay, they gave Bobby his moment, and then to have him get stripped of it the month after, lame. But I want to see the new peeps.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing Braun versus Bobby. Braun's not going to win, but I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest downside for me. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But look, it could be worse. Could
be. We saw another win from the Viking Raiders. This time against Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin.
Mm-hmm. So after returning last week,
Yep, after their return last week, so that's 2 wins in a row. Obviously,
both against Shelton and Cedric for some reason.
Yep, I know. No rematch.
It's almost like they have split and fired a bunch of their tag teams.
I know, but this to me automatically says that they're building the Viking Raiders straight back up for the title picture. What do you reckon?
Which is fine by me. Last time we saw them before Ivar got injured. Was around Raw Underground, which, as far as they know, never happened. They don't talk about Raw Underground anymore. It's like it's literal Fight Club. They didn't talk about it. But then before that, they had Street Profits and the Viking Raiders had that little run around silliness thing.
Oh, that was so much fun.
That was fun.
The basketball games,
but without any fresh tag teams, it makes sense for the Viking Raiders to come in and be put into that picture because they do have that luxury of being gone a little while. They are new and
fresh.
Like now, granted, Viking Raiders are over. The Street Profits are over on Smackers. We're not going to be able to see that again, but there's really not a lot in terms of tag teams on Raw. We've got the New Day. We have Cedric. What ex Hurt Business, the not so Hurt Business. There's just not a lot.
No.
So unify the fucking tag belts. I said it last year.
Who are the Raw
pretty sure I said it the year before. It was the New Day. Oh, it's AJ and Omos.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, it is too.
Yeah. Unify the tag belts, fuckers. All right, that's the trick. That's what you got to do.
Exactly
Unify the tag belts.
We haven't even seen them for weeks.
Because look, if you're going to have one women's tag title and have them involved in every storyline ever, do that with the men.
Exactly.
Why not?
It'll be way more engaging.
It'll be way more exciting.
Exactly right.
Because we won't just forget who the SmackDown tag team champions are. Because I did until I saw the Raw Dogs this week, and I was like, "What? Oh yeah."
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the Raw Dogs, what they get up to this week?
Oh, you mean the Dowdy Dogs?
Nah, Raw Dogs.
Raw Dogs. So where is it? I have it here.
I love this renaming
the Raw Dogs.
shit. It's so good.
So the Raw Dogs finally had to put their titles up against the Street Profits. Which unfortunately the Street Profits did not win. So this came off the back of what had happened was the Street Profits originally came out. They were throwing Bianca Belair a victory party. And she comes out and she gives this big old beautiful inspirational speech, thanking Sasha Banks and being like, it's for everybody who looks like me and all that really lovely stuff. And then, Belair turns to hubby and goes, in this house we only wear gold, basically saying they had to win the match and they didn't.
She says that like the tag titles aren't silver.
That's true. Oh my god.
And I know the expression is gold and I'm nitpicking like a motherfucker, but look, redesign the tag title.
Are they silver or are they white gold?
Oh, they could be white gold. But as far as
I know, probably white gold.
Look, why do I get so fucking hung up on the tag titles? Fix the tag titles. Unify them. Make a new one. No one like the Centurion look is old. It's played out. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, so they're going to get back in the picture against the Raw Dogs, and that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, exactly right. It's all they've got. It's literally all they've got at the moment, and that's where we get angry. It's just like we're going to keep seeing the same things over and over and over, like a broken record, because they don't have anything else to give to us.
Yeah, and like if they even even if they unify the belts and the team doesn't go to the show every week, they do both. That gives those local teams time to biff it out, going for the shot, right? Mm-hmm. That's what they should be doing, fighting for title shots rather than having rematch for the titles. Ibiza in the chat goes, quote, for everyone that looks like me, 17-foot long hair and can deadlift a horse. There are many people that look exactly like Bianca Belair. There's Jade Cargill over at AEW. She's actually slightly more jacked than Bianca, but look, you say that in terms of 17-foot long hair. Dolph Ziggler did come out with his own matching.
Oh, he had a big old braid on.
Yeah, his own matching Bianca Belair plait.
Did love it.
It was a nice touch.
Yeah, it was really nice. Now Well, while we're speaking about tag teams, why don't we talk about the women's tag team championship,
Sounds good to me.
which we watched the Man Was Like. So on SmackDown, we had a singles match of Natalya versus Shayna Baszler, obviously with Namina.
Shania Payne.
Tamina and Nia getting into it ringside, getting disruptive and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, it's pretty clear here that this is leading Natalya and Tamina back into a championship type, a championship picture.
Mm-hmm.
It's bloomingly obvious because where else is it going to go over there at the moment? So... just the Riot Squad. They're the only other team I can think of.
Well, that's the thing in terms of like. Obviously, you've got the likes of Dana and Mandy who now have more matching attire. Which, hot damn.
Yeah.
Just saying. I want it to be on the record that they are both incredibly attractive. Not that anyone needs to know.
Oh yeah.
And then of course there was. Carmella and Billy were a thing for like a hot minute. Like, there's not much else, man. Like, they should have had the Iconics reconnect at Mania.
They should have. It would have been perfect.
Everyone would have popped hard. That even if they didn't win, if they reconnected just for that Mania match, then
exactly right.
Knowing that they were going to release, that's what they should have done.
Exactly right. It's so shitty. But yeah, obviously, like on SmackDown, that's all they've got. Like that's literally all they've got. Whereas Raw, that's where you've got Naomi and Lana, you've got Mandy and Dana. They've got a little bit more competition on that side at the moment.
Chat, are there any women's tag teams on SmackDown that we are missing? I feel we're missing some.
I feel like we are, but I can't.
Because it can't just be the Riot Squad, Tamina, Natalya, and wherever the hell Shayna Baszler decides to go.
Yeah. I swear that's it. I feel like that's it.
Yeah, we're not winning. I think that's about it.
No.
That's about it.
Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, obviously we do see a whole embarrassment reel from last week. Apparently Shayna and Nia kept rewatching Mandy Rose's little slip at WrestleMania.
Me too. It was very funny.
It was. But she was graceful about it. Props to it. But then this led Mandy to come out this week and show a video of them watching that, and then she showed a video of the match they had last week and all the slip-ups that Nia made.
They didn't bring up the My Hole.
I know. I was looking forward to it and it didn't happen, but they brought up all these slip-ups from the week prior, and then Nia got pissed and she left the ring mid-match against Lana and Naomi, which got them get the win over Shayna Baszler. And obviously Shayna's absolutely pissed about this now. And then for some reason, Angel Garza shows up and he's like, "What do you see in Reginald?" and walks away.
Where is Reginald, by the way? Like, they've pissed off Reginald, now Angel Garza's going to be a little hot.
Yeah, no, where's Reginald? Why Angel Garza? Like, what?
Well, Angel Garza is kind of, he was the Lothario. They smooching on anything. So I guess it's the idea of just having him be the smoocher on her.
I feel like this whole thing is just like the whole world is against Nia. And I feel like we're going to have
I am against Nia. I am very anti-Nia.
We're going to have a bullying storyline with her again. I don't know. Didn't work the first time.
No storyline has worked with Nia. I'm yet to experience one that is good.
Yeah. You know, one thing that is good, though. The return of Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, so Charlotte Flair came back last week, sporting a whole new look with some awesome bodysuit looking thing. Looking hot as F. She's got new face, she's got new boobies. Like, she's looking mint.
Fine. She's really she's gotten trim. She was bulky before. She's gotten real lean, real trim. Did
I say Charlotte Riddle? Because I was thinking about Matt Riddle before.
Yeah, we can talk about that next. Yeah. Speaking of long legs, we'll talk about that next.
Charlotte Flair. So I was thinking about Matt Riddle and how he was giving Bobby Lashley some shiz the week before. But yes, Charlotte Flair, might I add, I'm okay with Charlotte Riddle. Speaking of tight shorts and no shoes, there we go.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm stoked because Charlotte is back as Charlotte, the pure, authentic heel Charlotte. She is a straight up bitch and I am living for every moment of this, like you would not believe.
Yeah, she that bitch.
I am. Yeah, well, she said it. I am absolutely all for this. She obviously starts dissing Asuka this week after coming out last week and causing a ruckus and interfering in the match between Asuka and Rhea. You know, those no automatic rematch matches, those ones.
So that was like 3 years ago. They just presumably forgot by now.
Yeah. But then, yeah, there's a match tonight with Asuka and Charlotte. Charlotte does come out earlier in the night to give some lip. She keeps trying to shut Asuka up, and Asuka ends up calling her a bitch. Rhea Ripley ends up coming out, and Charlotte invites her to watch the match and take notes, and Rhea does. But ultimately, Charlotte goes to go, the match comes around, Charlotte goes for the figure eight. Rhea runs up and rips her arms out of position, causing Charlotte to lose the match. Which to me says that Rhea Ripley has chosen her opponent.
Yes, but saying that though, Flair cracks the shits, kicks the living piss out of a ref, and as we've come to learn later, has been fined $100,000 dues and suspended indefinitely. Indefinitely.
She wouldn't let off the guy, so I don't blame them. Like, she was beating the living shit out of the poor dude.
They even had that one ref that come out. He's like, "Come on, Charlotte, come on!" Like, it's all he ever says. I don't think I've ever heard that ref say anything fucking else.
That's true.
I do not like him as a ref. He is garbo, as Dash said in this week's episode of Ops.
I love that.
I haven't heard the term garbo in about 10 years, and I chuckle.
But speaking of short shorts and long legs, Matt Riddle this week.
Matt Riddle. So last week, or was it this week? Either way, he got up in the shit of Bobby Lashley.
Last week, that was.
Was it last week? Yeah, so Lashley comes in after his WrestleMania win, and Matt Riddle's like, "Hey man, I want a shot." He's like, what do you mean you want a shot? You don't get a shot. And he's like, "But actually, on this day, you said the following." And then he got scooted really hard, and that was funny.
Yeah, and then this week, he goes up to Randy Orton. And he's like, "Oh, dude," like, talking about his loss and stuff like that, says something along the lines of like, "Oh, I've always wanted to meet an apex predator. I wonder what it's like."
What does that even mean?
We should, what does that even mean? We should create a tag team called RKbrO. That was the best.
Yeah, give me RKbrO. I want RKbrO.
I'm down for RKbrO. But obviously, Randy Orton feels super disrespected and goes to Adam Pearce playing the whole, like, "Who is that kid? I don't even care who that kid is. Just let me fight him" card, which ends up in them getting a match. Riddle ends up getting the win, though, after a sneaky counter to the RKO and rolling Randy Orton up, which was a surprise turn.
Man.
But, like, do you think this was just a match for the sake of match, or do you think this is going to go somewhere?
I don't know. I would like it to go somewhere, mostly because I'm obviously...
I want to see RKbrO.
Look, obviously Riddle is doing something well, like whether it be Vince is loving his shit.
He's very R-truthy in his comedy.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why it's landing well. Because I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. Yeah. And it's weird that we haven't seen R-Truth around in a while, and so we've kind of...
I know, and I miss him.
So we've kind of got Riddle
as the stand-in.
Feeling in that space.
In that comedic relief, yeah.
But,
that comedic relief.
Yeah, and which is nice. I don't have any issue with that at all. And I said I was watching wrestling with my mum the other week, and she liked Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle was the thing that made her chuckle the most. You know.
Yep.
So obviously there is some sort of general appeal.
I feel like that match sort of leads to Randy playing the whole like, well, if this guy can get one over me, maybe he's worth keeping around type, like by
putting him over a little bit.
Yeah. I reckon something. I'm down for RKbrO. That has a real good ring to it, and I really want them to do that.
You know, in the chat, Abiza brings up a good point. He goes, "Riddle seems willing to do whatever they throw at him, to be honest, which gives you, which gets you in Vince's good books." Which I imagine. If they're like, "What if you have a scooter?" They're like, "Okay." And what if when you do your sandal flip, a bunch of peacock birds come out in the same colors as the NBC logo? Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously, he's just willing to do whatever he's told, and that obviously understandably, is a big up in Vince's book. But yeah, give me more
exactly
of that. Now,
right.
I'm going to blow my nose for a sec. You keep chatting.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about this whole Alexa's playground thing, because there's not really much there. She's just sitting there with that weird doll Lily, showing off some clearly photoshopped photos saying Lily's been around for a long time. And basically she's putting the women's locker room on notice, saying that Lily didn't like him, as in the Fiend, which we obviously saw what happened at WrestleMania, and Lily doesn't like any of them. So it's very clear that she's putting the locker room on notice. And yeah, I'm for it, I think. I don't know. I'm confused. I want to get your thoughts on it, Betson.
Yes, my thoughts on?
Alexa Bliss calling out the women's locker room this week.
Look, I like it because I enjoyed her being so heavily involved with The Fiend. Because as we discussed in previous weeks, it's that beautiful soap opera bullshit that we love. But having her separate from The Fiend is good.
Yes.
We saw the introduction of Lily, her little doll thingy, which is uncomfortable because it has teeth.
Yes.
But yeah, we haven't seen The Fiend since.
No.
I'm
okay
with it. I'm okay with it. I'm biased. I love Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
So
fair.
I think it's good to get her back in the picture.
Yeah,
you know, she's been
I
off
think so
for she's been out for a little while. Like, you know, maybe she's been, you know, a little bit injured. Who knows? There's been no reports or anything, but
yeah,
she's not actively competed in a match in a very long time. So I'd be keen to have her come back. Maybe if they bring some of this supernaturalness into her character in terms of her ring work, then I don't have an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because in her little thing today, in the thing on Raw, on seeing on the swings, she mentions that Lily never really liked the Fiend, which was that,
that's what I mentioned. Yeah.
So if she's making that hard cut, like maybe get rid of Alexa's playground, get rid of all that sort of that's part of the gimmick and shift it a little bit.
Yeah.
I did like the idea that Lily has always been there. Like they cut her into a bunch of photos.
I was going to say, all the photos.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's perfect soap opera cheesy
I laughed
photoshopping.
so hard, and it was
I
brilliant.
did too. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they go down that path, cool. I don't know what that means to the Fiend, but we'll wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. We saw some more Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Basically, just another WrestleMania rematch.
Yeah, they just pushed again a little bit, which is
yeah,
cool.
Which makes me think they're going to try and drag the storyline out further, and I kind of don't want that.
Yeah, look, I like it because I like Kevin Owens and I like Sami Zayn.
Yeah, and that shirt of Sami Zayn dancing in the suit.
I want that shirt.
Oh, that was great.
For those who don't know, if you go to Pro Wrestling Tees right now, there's a great shirt from Sami Zayn with him doing all these little dances, and it is 100% of the profits do go to was it Fight for Syria? The Syria charity that he's part of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But because it's tough because where's Sammy go from here? Like him taking the L at Mania. It keeps that conspiracy idea going, and I felt that conspiracy was sort of running its course, and I would have loved if he got the win because that would have added a spanner. And he's like, maybe there isn't a conspiracy, maybe I was wrong, and then he can take some more L's again, just be like, oh, it's just a once off. Like, but you need to put that seed of doubt in the greater conspiracy.
Yeah,
and Kevin Owens isn't doing a whole lot, and there's so much more they could do, but apparently, like, there's like, where's this? Why are we seeing the same talent? Like, we need more story. There's needs to be more again, more.
Yeah.
Start mixing.
There's going to be something more to it. Yeah. Yeah,
like,
exactly it.
You know, right now.
Yeah, it feels like everybody's in very separate bubbles and nothing can sort of blend together.
Well, WWE by design does that. Like, if very rarely is there a shared world within WWE. Like, if these people are having a feud, they can't acknowledge anybody else. They can't talk to anybody else because they're in their own world. Where someone, you know, like AEW, like everyone's doing it, everyone's involved, everyone's talking to everyone. It's that cool collective world of wrestling, which WWE doesn't have. Probably one of my biggest issues with WWE. There are things that I love about WWE.
Oh yeah,
and hence why we do this. Hence why we do this show, because for us, WWE is silly and we love it. But if they can combine those stories together, then that's kind of where that works.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, you know, even that way they can sort of tease stories that are coming, because if someone's getting involved in a little way and they kind of just little drops. But that's not how they work, I'm afraid. Speaking of things that I've seen too much of and I'm already sick of it, Apollo Crews.
I know. Okay, so apparently we know him as, what was it, Bubba
Dick Grabber.
Bubba Cater?
Bubba
Cater?
Bubba Cater, yeah. Dick Grabber.
Bubba Cater?
I call it.
Yeah, apparently he's now Aziz, and he's a commander of the Nigerian Royal Guard or something
apparently
like that.
Apparently he does have Nigerian heritage, so in terms of...
There you go.
Shoot, so that's pretty cool.
And the big old, I believe it was once called the Samoan Spike by Umaga, is now the Nigerian Nail.
Okay. Yeah.
Which does not sound that great, actually.
Not really.
No, but apparently, anybody who wants to get to Apollo Crews has to go through Aziz, and he would have offered Big E a rematch, but Big E is not here because of the Nigerian Nail.
Mm-hmm.
God. That sounds like he was in a pornographic film. That's all I can say about that. And then what else we had? The Mysterios finally defeat the Alpha Academy. So Rey Mysterio finally got a win on Otis. I don't know what that does for that storyline. I feel like it's just going to continue to drag on because they're in that bubble now.
Yeah, that's it. Unless they start getting in the title picture, which I don't know why they aren't.
I know. The Mysterios 110% should be, because Rey's on his last legs. They need to have those titles in their hands.
Look, Rey can't retire until WWE 2K22 comes out, all right? He's the big face of it, apparently.
Oh, that's true.
So,
yeah,
he'll be around till October. Give him the belt. They'll keep him around till October.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's what's going to do it. So that has to do it. Yeah, no real exciting things there. But the most exciting thing on SmackDown was Cesaro confronting Roman Reigns.
Cesaro is getting a mad push. Cesaro's doing well. So after his successful win at WrestleMania, he's now stepping up and talking to the big dog.
I love this. The only thing I didn't love about this is how every 5 fucking seconds they were showing the video of that fucking UFO move.
Yeah, they really want to tell you the UFO is a good move.
I was so tired of it to the point where I almost couldn't watch it anymore. I was like, I can't do this. But other than that, it was amazing because it just shows the clear disrespect, because Roman Reigns just walks out on Cesaro and says nothing. So, Cesaro goes to Adam Pearce. He's like, you know what I want a match. Mm-hmm. And Paul Heyman is like, oh yeah, sure, Cesaro can have a match against Jey Uso, as we expect. It's routine by now.
Yeah.
So yeah, good match always. Cesaro was an amazing performer. And yeah, Seth Rollins attacks Cesaro and gets DQ'd. Jay gets DQ'd. So Lord knows what's happening here. Is this putting Seth Rollins in the title picture now? Or is this keeping Cesaro out of the title picture? Like,
Yes, that's the thing that I'm unsure of. Like, granted, I don't see him coming out Universal Champion. I don't think he'll be the one to beat Roman Reigns. But I do like the idea of him getting a shot. Yeah, so do I. Because we haven't seen this, like you were saying, we very rarely get crossovers as worlds, and this is Cesaro crossing over from one world to the next. Like, this is him going from, like, the middle ground to the main event. Like, this is huge. Well, because as I was watching the show with friend of the show, the Mullet, you know, like has Cesaro won any titles? Yeah, well, apart from obviously he's won the tag titles a ton of times.
Yes.
With Sheamus as part of the Bar, he's only ever held the United States Championship once.
Yeah,
but he's also the inaugural Andre the Giant Battle Andrew the Giant Battle Royal winner.
Andrew, winner. He sure is. Which Jey Uso did point out. Yep, and Jey Uso was like, "Look, he's third," and I was like, Cesaro's first.
Yeah.
And I love that they didn't even acknowledge the number of WrestleMania on that plaque. It said WrestleMania SmackDown, not WrestleMania 37.
Well, that's because it actually took place on the SmackDown before WrestleMania.
Oh, it did too. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's so lame.
That's why. So there wasn't even a WrestleMania match, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
So do you think that there is a universal title match on the cards for Cesaro?
I honestly think it'll probably end up in a triple threat because I know Seth Rollins obviously gonna want to get in the picture, and everybody's gonna want to see same. They're gonna want to see.
Are you right?
Yes, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. It's always, you know, it's the Shield versus each other, rah, rah, rah. Like, people are going to want that. Yeah. That's just how it is. But at the same time, I think Cesaro deserves that push, and I feel like he's not going to get it. I feel like something's just going to hold it back, and the only way he's going to anyway be involved in anything bigger is being thrown into a triple threat match, which I hate, but I think it's going to go that way.
But are we at risk of another triple threat match?
Yes. I don't know how to answer that question. I really don't.
Yeah, it is tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it would have been just another triple threat match. Hey.
Yeah, and that's the hurt, and like, you know, look, at least with Roman's title defenses, they've had some sort of cool stipulation. So possibly this could be something else, but like, what hasn't he done? You mean like, let's just say Cesaro versus Roman at WrestleMania Backlash, because they can't call it anymore. What is the stipulation?
Oh, that's true. There's always
because like since his return, he's always had a stipulation, and
that's a tricky one.
Ibiza says Judy Bagwell on a forklift.
I feel like it'd probably be something like, you know how they have like the leather strap matches and shit like that, like something where they're like cuffed together and Cesaro can't get Roman over his head,
so he spins him instead.
Yeah, but if they're cuffed together or something like that,
but didn't we get a leather strap match with Daniel Bryan though?
Yeah, but like
maybe Uso on a pole match. He's just hanging from the
Jey
Uso's hanging there by his ass crack.
Yeah, something like that. Like have like a pole or some sort of barrier between them where like there's no real way that Cesaro can get Roman up on it, like up over his head. Something real sneaky like that. Like knowing Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, they'll fucking come up with a stipulation. But they'll just create one out of thin air.
Roman's a fucking unit. There is no way that he's gonna be able to swing him the way he did Seth Rollins.
I don't know.
No, he's huge.
He's swung big people before.
True.
So it could be. I do really desperately want to see Cesaro go for that title though. I'd really like at least to see him have an opportunity at it one-on-one. I
was being devil's advocate in terms of whether he could do it or not. Like, I know he could do it, but it was just like, would he do it? But
I think he'd be hesitant, but yeah.
But yeah, we'll see where that goes. I think we're pretty much. There's not much left, is there?
So we did have a little bit of an Elias versus Kofi Kingston, which I do think needs a notable mention because they were dressed in Mortal Kombat outfits. They looked like Scorpion and
yes, they've had them for a little while, which is nice. Obviously, with the Mortal Kombat movie coming out this week.
Yeah, this week.
Yeah, like it's cool. I do like that, but
look, this was I think this was a comedic relief for the show that was really needed because, so Elias comes out to play his music and he has another issue, and this time it's Xavier Woods coming out playing the bloody bass guitar for crying out loud.
So Francesca got wrecked last week, a week before, so there's no trombone, but I did like the bass was a nice touch. Because
the bass was a nice touch.
They clearly just plugged it in and like, hey, Woods, can you just be dumb about it? And he's like, sure. Like, he's clearly never played a bass guitar in his life.
Yeah, he was doing some good jams. And then they come down to the ring, and during the match is Elias versus Kofi Kingston. Woods is standing there playing Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme music while Kofi Kingston's stopping a mud hole in Elias. And it was just, it was perfect. It was so perfect. But Elias did take the win here, which makes me think that maybe Elias and Riker as a tag team are going to get a title shot. I don't know why, it just makes me think that.
Yeah. And look, I pointed this out the other day. Like, we can't get mad every time they just plonk two people together to make a tag team, because how else do you make tag teams? We can't.
Exactly right.
So we can't get shitty every time. But, you know.
I mean, this is a fair tag team. They kind of look the same. They're both shirtless and in jeans. So.
Yeah, and they're connected, you know, with like Jackson Riker being a big old fan of Elias's music. And Elias just being less racist, so that's pretty cool, you know, compared to Jackson, so that's nice touch.
That's fair, definitely.
Big fan of that.
Yeah, we also had a little bit of Sheamus, the new United States champion as of WrestleMania. Basically, Adam Pearce told him, you need to be a fighting champion, and he's like, fine, you want me to issue a open challenge, I'll issue an open challenge, to which Humberto Carrillo accepts. But
I forgot he was employed.
Exactly right. After everyone they released.
I don't think it's release worthy, but I just forgot he was there.
Yeah, but yeah, he answers the call, which he gets the hell beat out of him before the match can even start. Once he finally gets in, Sheamus gets him in the ring. It's a big old bro kick, 1, 2, 3. Sheamus gets the win. Simple. I think that's all we're going to see from Sheamus for a long time.
Yeah.
Until they can find him valid competition. Because I don't know who's valid competition for him right now.
Yeah. And like, this is the problem. Like, they've written themselves into a space where it's just like, well, who else is, you know, no one else has stepped up.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, because you've written it poorly, dude. Like, what do you expect? Either way, I'm pretty sure we've got one more left. I think it's Miz TV. Yeah. It
sure is. Miz TV with Maurice. Once again, she's with him. Look, I'll give them credit. Like this, they're obviously hamming it up for the ring, but
and because Miz has started.
Yeah, I love how much they love each other. That's always going to be something that I think is the cutest. But yeah, obviously Damian Priest comes out. He's a bit pissed off because Miz got the win last week, but Miz got the win by Maurice helping him after Damian Priest literally stripped him butt naked almost. He only had his knickies on. And Damian Priest called him ballless, basically.
Yeah.
Which was a bit funny. But then, yeah, Damian Priest obviously says that in Spanish. So Maurice fights back and says something back in French, which is basically, you want a match with The Miz, then you've got one tonight. So she does her hubby in for a match, the dickhead. And then, yeah, Maurice obviously gets involved in the match again. Damian Priest gets the win this time. So that's obviously Damian Priest's first loss in the WWE.
It is literally his first loss, yeah.
Yeah. But he's come back with a vengeance, obviously taking the win this week. So I don't know where this is going. Like, it's just an empty storyline. They're not chasing anything.
Yeah, it's just adding a little bit of tail to the WrestleMania stuff, which is fine. I think Damian Priest is doing an okay job. I think he's doing good. The Miz is great to help anyone step up, because The Miz is brilliant. People shit on him, but he is good.
He is real good. Well, look, I honestly will maintain that I do believe that Miz is one of the greatest to have ever done it. Like, he really is. He is so underestimated as a superstar. He really has. He's done it all, and he can do it all. He's got the charisma. He's got the in-ring skills. He's got the willingness to put others over. He's like the underdog, and I really think he deserves a lot more than he gets, because he is friggin' amazing. I mean, crap, like, look at all the money he brings into the WWE from Miz and Mrs. Like, The dude's got it all for them. He's their whole package.
Yeah, he is. It's very true. He delivers everything that they need.
Exactly.
And the chat is in the same boat. Killer, who I haven't seen in a little while. What's up, Killer?
Hey.
Miz is truly underrated. Ibiza agrees. He goes, in terms of WWE mold, there's few better than the Miz.
Yep.
I think you hit the spot on.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and
that's it. That is Raw and SmackDown for this week. I feel like nothing really happened this week.
Nothing really eventuated. It was definitely just a bit of a filler, kind of starting to tail end some stories and mold new ones. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like apart from the Charlotte stuff, which is cool, and then obviously
so
the Cesaro getting a bit of a rub is nice. But everything else is kind of like meh.
Yeah, it was like combined. I'd probably give them one Kurt.
Yeah, it would be
I'd
a Kurt
probably
right in the middle.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, combined, I'd give them a 1. Like, it wasn't a bad watch, and there were some really good matches in there. But it wasn't anything exceptional either.
Yeah, like I didn't leave going, whoa, that was something fucking fantastic. I'm so glad that I watched that. Didn't happen.
Yeah, neither. Yeah.
Either way, let us know what you thought of this week in WWE TV. Let us know in all the social medias, the Discords, Twitters, all those things down below. But that will wrap us up nice and quickly. So thank you, Jem, for joining me as always. We will
Thank you
hopefully,
for being patient.
presuming neither of us get another vaccine or a headache, a corresponding headache. We will be back next week to talk more WWE. Yay. This is our WWE in review show. It comes at you every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes, except when we delay today. Sorry. Look, so few people watch. I'm sure they won't mind.
They won't mind.
They're champions. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So on 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, you can. Head over to facebook.com/groups/popculture, Twitter, Discord, Instagram, all those links are in the down below area. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, just like Ibiza, Killer, Mud Jane, Jay, as they all did, you can. Twitch.tv/thepopculture where you can watch us record the show live. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this wrestling pod. On your podcast service, gives a 5-star rating and a written review. If you are on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave a comment below. We endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support the show financially, you can. Patreon.com/popculture as well as our merchandise store. Popculture.com/shop. We can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. Now, I believe our Two Kurt's shirt is up now.
Yay!
So if you want
to get me
it
one.
says Two Kurt's up with thumbs and Kurt Angle's face. Then,
I need to get me.
It is available on there for purchasing. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
And I'm Jem.
And we'll see you then.
Good night.